This is Beyond the Veil with Norman Meredith.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and alien observers. We're coming from Pickens, South Carolina tonight with another episode of Beyond the Veil. And tonight we're going to talk a little bit more about 3I Atlas because things are ramping up. What we thought was a comet may actually not be a comet now because the scientists are changing what it might be. They're changing the definition. It went from a definition of a comet to now an anomaly. Everybody's hee-hawing around and hedging about trying to say it's a alien craft. Professor Loeb out of Hawaii has basically come out and says it's alien technology. Basically, he's saying it's a spaceship, but for some reason, he ain't coming straight out and saying it. Now, we know in the night sky, it's a greenish-looking blob. If you got just a regular telescope that you use to look out in the sky or look at your neighbors down the road, you'll see just lights. And in more advanced telescopes, you can see a little bit more definition. And in some of the bigger scopes, we were seeing lights, some structure. And get this, folks, everything has stopped. Pictures from satellites and deep probes on Mars, all feeds have totally stopped. You know that, Ed? The government has cut all the feeds from the probes around Jupiter, the probes around Mars especially. On the planet Mars, they turned the rover around so it can't look up in the sky no more.
I find it interesting that we can't figure out 9/11, but we know what's going on like light years away, that's a whole nother.
Well, 9/11 is already figured out. It's just who's allowed to look at it's who's allowed to look at the information.
There's definitely a story out there. But
That's
anyway,
what that is.
I digress like I do.
Yeah. But James Webb, Hubble, everybody else, because it's so close, it's now Atlas is past Mars. People have actually seen in these high pollutant technological observatories and radio telescopes have seen it. And they've gotten to the point now where they're calling it an anomaly.
Does this have many anomalies?
Yes. When it first came in, it was just one object. Okay? And then when it got to around Jupiter, it stayed one object, but all of a sudden, 9 smaller objects suddenly appeared out of nowhere. Literally appeared. 1 second they weren't there, and next second they were like, poof! And they were like escorts to just come out of the ship, come out of the object.
I got a question for you.
Okay.
So why is it that 2 weeks ago, we did the one where they put a Hellfire missile into some kind of unidentified flying object and like little babies came out of it and they kind of floated, like synchronized, floated how they did and readjusted themselves on whole. What have you heard of that since?
Nothing.
Yeah, that's crazy, man.
We don't hear a lot of things after the fact on things. The only thing we ever heard more of, to a degree, was the famous TikTok video off the Pacific with the pilots. Mm-hmm. And that's been going on and off because people haven't let that one go.
There has actually been a resurgence of the giants in the mall in Miami.
Really? Where?
I just saw it. There's people who are like, oh, hold on, what was that? Let's go back and start digging this up again.
Oh, talking about more information about the giants being... Yeah, there has been. Because
and the big flash portal. And if it was people wouldn't be running away. No. But people are running away from it.
Well, we watched it, Tom.
Man, there's a lot of cops there too.
We seen somebody literally run out of their shoes when the portal appeared.
Yeah, it's crazy, man.
I mean, you remember that video.
Well, I'm just glad, that means that maybe this, the little baby UFOs out of the mothership, literal mothership, will come back into the media.
But, as like we were saying now, one of the things that was bothering people was the tail of this, when it was a comet, wasn't facing away from the sun. Mm-hmm. They said it was facing the sun, which is unusual. But if you were thinking about it, if you're going to land, say, a lander on the moon, which end of the spacecraft are you going to point toward the moon to land? The rear with the giant rocket engine to slow down, or the nose cone and crash? Which one are you going to use?
Well, the rear, more so.
So, I would think most common people with sense, and I'm not saying that the astronomers don't have it, but I think they're being told, don't say anything, is what they're seeing is a rocket, like a giant engine that's slowing it down as it comes into our system. Because the other day they said it slowed down by 300%, which is physically impossible.
That's like reverse times 2.
Yeah. I mean, comets are driven by gravity. Okay. 3-1 Atlas is doing weird things like course corrections. Slowing down, speeding up. And they say, everything's wrong. It's bleeding off carbon dioxide, which is another thing that's not normal with comets. I was listening to one thing where they're starting to some people in the last 2 weeks were describing what they thought were lights on the comet.
That's crazy, man.
In strings. Like I say, when they had 9 more objects appeared on the side of it, somebody said those are escorts. And then 2 more comets of similar size to Atlas have come into the system.
So is there like a size comparison,
Yeah.
to something that we knew?
Bring up Oumuamua. Okay, on the bottom is Oumuamua. Up in the top is 3I Atlas.
So the bottom one there, however you say that,
Oumuamua.
outside of it sort of looking like the Millennium Falcon.
Right.
Is it named that because it was seen somewhere like from a Hawaiian telescope?
Hawaiian telescope.
Okay, all right. That's
telescope.
a good guess, man. Like, I have no knowledge of this stuff.
A Hawaiian observatory originally seen Oumuamua. Oumuamua, yeah.
There we go.
They seen it first.
Got it.
And then, what the other interesting thing about 3I Atlas is?
What?
In 1977, on August 15th, the Radio Observatory in El Salvador, Puerto Rico, I think it was, received what is called the WOW signal. It was a 45-second burst of binary code. Now, guess which direction 3I
Earth.
Atlas came from?
The same place.
The same direction.
And it's coming to Earth.
Yes.
It's frequency panspermia.
I don't know about that.
That's what it is, man. They're coming to get us.
But, there's another thing, too, is 3I Atlas is doing that's blowing scientists' minds.
What?
It's sending out signals. It sent a signal to Mars. It sent a signal out to the moon. And it has sent prime number sequences to Earth.
So now we definitely know they're smarter than us, because prime number, what is that? 13, 57, 17, stuff like that.
Math is not my strong
67.
point.
Yeah, those are all prime. They can only be multiplied by themselves.
Correct.
I think we have a geometry algebra nerd back on the couch right now.
But he's
might be able to
from,
help us
he's
with
hiding,
that
though.
scientific sequencing.
He's hiding from us. But no, seriously, there have been prime number sequences and other binary code literally sent from 3I Atlas. I gotta drink something.
Drink something, man. See, it looks like that one's putting off carbon dioxide.
Yeah. And
or is it cold? But if it's cold, then that means that there has to be moisture.
There's supposed to have been water vapor coming off.
Okay.
Not carbon dioxide.
Yeah, that would make sense.
But it's throwing them off because it's sending signals. Now, get this. Okay. Besides the 9 escort ships, okay, there's also being said there's 4,000 smaller objects literally behind it in a line.
It's not just like tailings that are
grouping.
coming off?
Well, it don't match normal tailings.
Like maybe it's ripping part of itself.
They say it don't
and-
match normal tailings. They're
Okay.
saying the infrared and all that says it's not normal. It doesn't coincide with the normal comet.
That's odd.
Now, the last thing I picked up is I was listening to a couple different explanations. Is one, it's pitch black, this comet, or this anomaly, okay?
Because it's not a comet anymore.
No, it's literally jet black, or the black is black, like it's able to absorb energy.
What's it? What do they call it?
Like a solar panel?
Or obsolence, not obsidian. It's obsolete something. It's like
ebony.
It's like the most right. Like
Like
it's like you can't see it. It's so black you can't
Yeah,
see it.
exactly.
It's like absorbent of.
That's what it's doing.
That's nuts, man.
And then they're discovering it has ridges, like solar collector type ridges. And then the fact that astronomers have supposedly observed lights along it. So what is all this telling you? It's not an anomaly then,
It must be a living something.
or craft.
Huh.
Now, some people I've seen off on the side saying maybe this is the return of the Anunnaki. Now, we've mentioned them before. They're an alien race that supposedly had been here thousands of years in the past. They came, subjugated humans, and did a lot of DNA experiments, exploited our planet for gold, and then left. That this might be their return, some have been saying. There's another theory. It's called the Berserker. Now, that's where I brought up Doomsday from Star Trek. The Berserker theory is it's an alien vessel that's on a mining expedition, and it's drawing in minerals and supply and other materials from our solar system as it's coming through.
Okay.
And I've got a couple things I want to show you. If you're an old-time Star Trek fan, you'll see the Doomsday Machine as what some of them, if you ever watch Star Trek, you'll see what we're talking about.
That one that looks like a lava cone.
Yeah, or large cornucopia.
Gotcha.
Now, this is a artist rendition. This is not the actual Doomsday one, but this is like sort of what could be what we got coming in our system. Somebody put out there. You know, a cross between what we're seeing and Doomsday.
Is this? Nope.
Okay,
Not
this
that
is
Not that one.
now this is the top is what was a supposed, and I'm going to say supposed because we have AI, a supposed photo of 3I Atlas at the top. The bottom is an artist's rendition of what they're supposedly seeing from the top two photos.
Okay. Let's go to this one here. There we go.
Now that is Doomsday from Star Trek. You know, it was a giant like cornucopia device that was a solar system destroyer. It'd come into a solar system and wipe out planets. And in this, if you ever watch Star Trek, you know it destroyed a Star Trek vessel in there, and then Captain Kirk and his happy crew, you know, took it out by sacrificing one of the ships by ramming it down its throat and exploding it. And then, you know, they're using this as sort of a idea of what might be going on. Wild, ain't it?
Unbelievable.
Yes. And then, you know, they're also saying, also there was a object broke loose or was sent off from 3I Atlas and disappeared at Mars. Like it landed. Yeah. Like maybe there was a civilization there or something, or some maroons, and they've gone there to check it out. Look quite physically. There's speculation on that.
Maybe it's feeling nostalgic and it just remembered where it was.
And that's like with supposedly sending the directional beam to the moon, like it was trying to send a communication link to the moon. Like, hey, we're here, wake up, or Are you still alive or whatnot? This is one of the scenes from the Star Trek where the Doomsday device had set off its large, freaking huge phaser type weapon.
What is this one over here? Let's check that out.
That's the
Enterprise
right in front of it, trying to fire torpedoes, photon torpedoes, and their phasers, and see if it could do anything. Or it could be where they're sacrificing the other Constitution class starship to feed down the middle of the Doomsday device. But see, a lot of people are getting upset because the government shut down all the feeds. And this is including China, the European Space Agency, the India, anybody that's got astronomy packages in space. This is not just one nation. Mm-hmm. All the nations in the world have shut down or have scrambled their feeds so no outside sources can access them.
Maybe we need to put some of these links in the comments. Just to see, you know what I mean? Like if it ever comes back up, and maybe someone who's more savvy than I can, monitor that.
They're
stuff.
saying, next week or a week after? I think maybe just before Halloween, that actual contact may occur. But then there's another thing too that's been said, and I've only heard it once or twice, that 3i Atlas has also been sending out energy waves to Earth, which has been causing tectonic plate activity and messing with the magnetic sphere, causing birds to have trouble flying, and any type of sea animal or bird animals rely on using that inner magnetic ability they got for traveling has been messed up. Besides an increase in earthquakes and volcano activity on Earth. Yeah.
Seems like it can control your atmosphere, your geological happenings.
Some say it might be a
magnetic field.
Mm-hmm. Some are saying it might be a terraforming device.
It's too much, man.
I know. I mean, it's just.
It's all terrifying. Something that you're unaware of and that just comes out, and it's something new and different, and who knows.
I really think now in our time and age, because the acclimatization people have from movies, books, TV shows, cartoons, figures, and whatnot. Be honest. I think you probably have less than 10% of the population that might have an issue. Besides religious leaders saying, "Oh, we were wrong." That's what I think, but I could be wrong. But then I think also it's affecting the people that hold the energy dollars.
Yeah.
And who control energy-related things, because that will fuck their bottom line if we make, contact on a grand scale.
And, let's be honest about it. It's like, how are these guys going through space if, let's say this is some weird civilization in a ship, or even if it's aliens on a rock,
yeah.
How are they propelled? How are they fed? Where are these resources? It's resources. It's always going to be resources.
It's going to come down to some interesting information for us to learn.
It's always fuel, God,
food,
or land. It's what it always comes back to. And this one here is all of them.
Yes.
It's crazy.
And that's going to affect some people's control, because if they can't control those three, they're out of power.
Mm-hmm. Sketch.
Very. So we'll see in the next 2 weeks or so what happens. Whether we have a encounter or not.
Wait around for the event. It could be here.
Definitely.
Are there any cults yet? Like all stirred up and
I haven't heard
falling into it and believing it?
Strange.
There's got to be a cult following somewhere.
That is strange.
Like a religious following.
I honestly haven't heard or seen anything yet about that, which is weird.
Now, I have seen people say, when they vote, they're like, whatever, Biden or Trump for office or for president or whatever. I saw one that says, giant meteor for president. They might just get it.
But, like when the comment, I forget, it was called Bebop, I think it was, came in, there was a cult for that. There were some cults for some other comments.
Oh, no, there's a Hellbop comet.
Hellbop.
And that was the Applegate people, and they all bought the purple blankets and the same matching Nike shoes. I think that was in 1996. And that dude was a friggin' whack job.
Yeah. But that's what I'm saying. You're not seeing it this time.
Yeah. There's got to be some hippie weirdos somewhere out
Maybe
worshiping the earth, or thinking this is their Messiah moment coming or something.
But there is something else too. There's supposedly twice in our past history 2 events of a green light comet in our history that come through,
All right.
and it always brought devastation supposedly.
Well, you would think too. I mean, how big is it compared to the moon?
It's supposedly
Is it going to affect tides?
33 billion tons,
Okay.
and last I heard, it might be the size of Rhode Island.
Okay, so it's not like super huge either. I mean, it hits the earth. Yeah, we're done.
Yeah, it's worth the done. Now, any of the objects following behind it, they hit, it's going to cause some damage. It could be like a kinetic strike.
Well, all we need is one EMP, and we're one EMP away from 10,000 BC.
Mm-hmm.
That's all it's going to take.
Yep.
Like, even a tiny solar flare from so far away has an effect frequency-wise on our everything.
Oh, yeah.
They're, it was a solar flare. That's why the satellites don't work. It's like, that's count your days, man.
Yeah.
This is what you've got. All that to say, make them good, make them last.
Right. All right, that's all I got. Let's see what I can bring up next week.
Awesome. What's your ideas for next week?
I don't know yet. I might, depending on what happens, find a new subject. But if something drastic happens with the 3-Eye Atlas, we'll see.
All right.
I mean, if something drastic happens with 3-Eye Atlas, we might talk about that again. But if not, I'll find one of the subjects we were talking about. Maybe about strange things found deep underground. That might be an interesting topic.
Got it.
That sounds like it might be a fun topic.
Yeah, or, well, we can talk about that later. I had an idea.
Okay.
All right.
Is she a redhead?
No. Oh, my gosh. They have no soul. They're from the devil. All of them. Every single one of them.
Oh, bad running, eh?
Yeah.
All right, folks, signing off from Pickens. This is Norman and Ed. We wish you thanks for joining us for tonight's episode of Beyond the Veil, and we look forward to the next one with y'all. Good night.